time when we did number 11 etude, I played the top part. So today I'll play the bottom part. It'll be easy this time for you to tell when to come in if you want to play the top part along with me. Here we go. Here, as we are working on number 11, Altès, which is published as a duet, it's high time that I introduce you to the Altès Celebrated Complete Method. All of these etudes we've been doing are within this complete method, and there are 4 parts to this complete method. So this big book, this is volume 2, and this contains parts 3 and 4. So you can see Altès was a very prolific teacher as far as publishing what he was teaching. And these 26 etudes that we have are the end of his 3rd part. So there's a lot more in here. It's worth getting hold of, especially the 2nd volume of his complete method. But if we're going through this complete method and we come to these etudes, which have been published separately, you will see that in fact, all of these etudes were written as duets. And they're very good to play as duets. Nearly always, the second part is really not very important at all. The first part is what's really important, but they help a lot with pedagogical purposes of keeping the pulse steady, of working on pitch and dynamics and all those different things. It's also interesting, you know, the first one that I played for you that I took some liberties with the timing, I knew how Altès wrote this duet. And when I take time, when I play it, there's a sustained long note in the second part, which kind of gives you permission to take time. This is something Michel Dubos liked to talk about a lot, that if you're wondering if you have permission to change something about the music, the pulse, or take a little freedom with a run, or that kind of thing, you have to look at the accompaniment part. And if the accompaniment not doing anything, chances are good, not a guarantee, but chances are good you have permission to take some liberties. If the accompaniment marching along, steady quarter notes, eighth notes, something like that, you do not probably have permission. So it's good to look at that second part and see what's going on. Just randomly, I open this up, and in this one, you can see a very steady pulse in that second part, that the eighth notes are very much delineated, spelled out, so you probably don't have any time to take liberty. But in fact, when I run a flute class in Paris, which I do fairly regularly, not recently though, I have students pair up and play these together as duets, because there's a lot you can learn, like if your pulse is steady, if your pitch is really centered and dead on, if you're doing the dynamics, if there are places that you're adding time and you really shouldn't, all that kind of thing. So just a word of encouragement that if you can get hold of this and play it with somebody else and study all the other things that Altès wanted to teach us, that is highly recommended.